he just called me 2 days ago, and he wants to start, I guess, promoting the guys that I can get for him, which is amazing.
Well, I mean, it's probably the bad terminology he used. He probably shouldn't have said exclusive rights, but he probably should have said I can exclusively get you these guys for your shows. Not saying that he had the rights to them, but
whatever. It's amazing what people turn around and just do.
This is why I'm glad I do this. See, this is my fun thing. Like, I do this for fun. You stress the shit out of yourself. I see you at shows. You're like, thank God you have no hair because you'd be ripping the shit out.
Well, listen, last show I did, that big event, I had Chris Masters and Earl Hebner at one table.
Yeah.
Then I had Billy Kidman and Dean Malenko at another table.
And you had Jim sitting next to you.
And I had Jim Neidhart next to Bret Hart.
Yeah.
In a different room.
Yeah.
I brought along my cousin, my best friend, Cliff, that helped us out. He handled Anvil. Then Vinny, my partner, had two of his brother-in-laws come to help out with Hebner, Masters, Malenko, and Kidman. And I'm standing there saying, shit, this is the first time that I could walk around and do whatever I want. Mm-hmm. I said, I'm not going to do nothing to them.
Isn't it great?
It was.
I had Amy taking care of April. I had Nick taking care of EC3. Justin was there on his own, and so was Casey. So they handled their own stuff. Dan did his merchandise, and I was wandering around to a certain extent because that back room was like 1,000 degrees.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
So I was like dropping cards off my tables, and an hour later I would go back and get them because it was so hot in there. Like, you literally walked in and it was just like, ugh.
Yeah.
I don't know how the talent in there were not complaining.
If you notice, they put all the skinny people back there, though.
They did. They put all the fat guys in the front corridor, right where the air conditioning in the front door was open.
I had to go there.
But I'm not going to complain. I secured my same spot. We're going to have 5 tables though this time instead of 4.
Jesus.
So,
well, you got it. You have
6 people, and we have another guy that's interested in coming, but I don't. Homicide wants to come with us, but I'm just like, I love Homicide. Don't get me wrong, but he watered himself down because he goes everywhere.
Yeah.
Every show, every wrestling show, local or otherwise, and then one of our friends wants us to take Alpha Jr. And I was
wasn't he just at?
I didn't know. I think he was at Big Event, wasn't he?
I think
Alpha and
one of a couple of Samoans were there.
Yeah, it was Alpha and Lance. Or Sam? No, Samu's son is Lance. It might have been Lance's brother. It was one of them.
I don't know who they were.
But I'm all the Samoan dynasties. You should be money, but right. The problem with that is that it's hard to promote Alpha without bringing up his father, and to me, it's unfair to do that. And he's not here enough in this area enough. He's more in the Midwest areas. It's hard to get. It's just, to me. And I told her, the one that wanted me to do it, I was like, look, I'll be honest with you. I said, I don't think he's gonna make money. And why? I don't. Even if he paid for his own airfare, if he doesn't make his airfare back to me, it's not fair. Why am I gonna do that to him?
Right.
So
sometimes it's not worth it.
If it was a wrestling show, maybe, because at least he gets a couple $100 to wrestle. It might make it worth it. He sells a couple autographs at the show.
Yeah.
Because they'll have no problem. Like, Alpha Jr., son of Hall of Famer of the Wild Samoa. They could do that at the wrestling shows. But, to do that online, Twitter and Facebook, promoting somebody else's... No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, to be honest with you, the shows go by quick and easy. It's all the bullshit before.
Yeah.
A lot of these people don't understand you got to get hotels...
Yeah.
Airfare.
Well, flights first.
Flights
first. Make sure that
they want that flight.
And if they're going to be in that state because they might not be home when they're flying out. Like, I know Barbie's from Texas, but she moved to Orlando, but she's not sure if she's going to be in Orlando that day. She might be flying from wherever another show was that weekend.
It'd be nice if it's Orlando. Cheap flight.
Yeah. Well, they're flying out of Orlando. Brian Blair's flying out of Florida. ODB's flying out of Florida. And obviously Bob's flying out of Missouri, St. Louis, which wasn't a lot. and the other Nyla's local. She's driving, and Brunzel, I think he says from Minnesota. So, but that's where ODB's from, Minnesota. She's like, but I'm not going to be there. She's like, I'm going to be here. I'm like,
even better.
Yeah, I was like, just move closer to the East Coast. Closer to the East Coast, you get, the cheaper it is. So
exactly.
So I'm good. I'm good with that. So
yeah,
we wanted to bring in Jasmine St. Clair, but she's in Arizona. So I was like, I would, but she wound up. She wasn't available anyway. But I was like, she might be good. You know, she attracts a different type of troll.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, it's the flights. They got to make sure that the times are good.
The hotels.
Hotel. Then you got to find. I don't bring in people just for one event.
Yeah.
I want to get them in Friday night to do something, Saturday morning, Saturday night, and then Sunday and let them fly.
I try to do that. Plus, I have to rent a van this time because there's 10 of us. I got six talent and myself and 3 other staff members. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna rent a 10 passenger van. We did that with all the guys we had 2 weeks ago at that big event. We bought one. We rented one of those Econo lines. Yeah, that's what we're gonna have to do, and
that goes into cost as well.
Yep, and then after plus tolls and gas because it's in Queens. Which you go to Verrazano Bridge, they want your first child.
Oh yeah.
And then after that, you got to feed them after the convention.
In Matt's case, you don't have to.
Well, yeah, Snickers bar. You got to feed them, and then we got an invitation to PWS to do their meet and greet. That remains to be seen. And Bob is going with Dan to UWA Elite, and I'm bringing the rest of the staff to Warriors of Wrestling. So we're splitting.
Yeah.
And pretty much they're all going home on Sunday. Richie asked me if I wanted to do the Allentown thing on Sunday, but I was like,
nah. They draw a decent crowd there.
I gotta say how much attraction, like how much, like if I call the owner and tell them like I got this person, put the word out, see what kind of feedback you get.
Well,
because I don't want to bring.
Did you go to Allentown yet?
No.
Why don't you come next Sunday?
Next Sunday. Let's go to the Blues Clues Handy Dandy Notebook.
Why don't you come next Sunday?
And
with Dan Severin going to be there with us. You could talk to the owner. You could see the place.
And that would be the
13th.
13th, my late mom's birthday. Yeah, it'd probably be a good idea to get out of the house.
Yeah, get your mind off things.
Yeah.
But the owner been in this business for a long time. He'll tell you if it's someone's worth bringing there.
Sorry. John Menachino said, bullshit, I was a fat guy in the back room.
John, we're close to 300 pounds each here.
No, close. Like, I'm 320.
What was it, typhoon and
yeah, we're the natural disasters.
Yeah.
You're more of like Bryan Adams. Oh man, I'm sorry.
Who else did they have in there? They had Richie from Ultimate Stars.
They had Richie
DeGorio.
Game Changer Wrestling. Lucky 13 was in there.
Your friends?
T-Mart.
I don't like when people say T-Mart. I know who T-Mart is. The company.
Yeah.
If the guy walked past me, I'm gonna have.
I don't know any of these guys. It's funny because the guy from Lucky 13 just friend requested me on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, that's him. I walked past like 100 times.
I have no clue who they are.
And then also Ultimate Stars was back there too.
Right. Yeah.
Lou and Richie.
Louie.
So yeah, Lou. Paul Lou.
Yeah, Lou. You're in me and Kev's category.
Lou's not a tiny guy. Not a tiny guy. But,
great guy though.
I have no problem. Everyone, look. The only reason why I said something about I said Lucky 13 is because they beat me to the punch with Molly Holly. I really wanted to. My original plan was to bring in Molly Holly and Stephanie Bowers, who was Gorgeous George, and that would have been 2/3 of Team Madness, which everybody knows I'm a big Macho Man, Mark, whatever. So that was kind of what I wanted to do, and I reached out to T-Mart because they seemed to be the only one that had the phone number. And literally the day I sent them the message, I asked them about the phone number. It couple hours later, I went back. It said seen. They read it, and then the next day, Lucky 13 announced it will bring in Molly Holly.
That's why I don't ever tell people.
I know, but I needed that number, and 3 people told me to go to that person. He said they're probably not going to give it to you, but they're the only ones we know that deal with Molly Holly. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb.
There's always somebody in this business that you're close with that could get phone numbers. You better off talking to the people you trust.
Well, now I know. I need to stop, being a nice guy. Just what did my cousin say? Nice. I need to stop being the nice guy and being like, if you get a chance, can you give me that? No, fuck it. You know what? Give me this shit now, because you're not going to get anything back from me if you want.
There was one person I spoke to today, and it happened to be Lewis, and we were shooting the shit on the phone, and he was mentioning some names that he was thinking about bringing for a big event, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like, we're talking about the same people. I'm like, so here's the list of guys that you're looking for.
Yep.
Let's wait. Let's hold off. Don't jump into anything. Let's work out something. So we came to the conclusion that we'll work out something where we're not going to use all those names. So I can use some, he'll use the others.
Mm-hmm.
Make it easier for both.
Working together. Something that people say can never happen. Yeah. Just like it could never happen where multiple wrestling promotions can come together and put on one great show. But I think Matt Tremont proved that wrong with WrestleFest.
Right.
He had, 15 to 16 different wrestling promotions represented and put on a hell of a show.
It was a pretty good show.
So I just wish people were spending more money.
Right, yeah, that's the only thing. Some people...
I think they were just there for the show. I don't think they were really there to spend money. Nobody really broke the bank in that place. And even the Jersey All-Pro, the Fat Frank tribute show, everybody bitched that nobody spent money beginning that show. We sold 5 autograph photos with April Hunter. That was it. And she's an original, Jersey All-Pro original female wrestler. Coming home. I was a little pissed off that they didn't promote that, April Hunter's coming home, blah, blah. No, they put her in a little print, April Hunter, that pissed me off. But you live and you learn. Now I know for next time, hey, you want me to bring my talent here? This is what you need to do for me. Guarantee me some exposure. You want me to pay you $50 for a table? I made $100. I just gave you half my profits. And you did no promoting for me.
Yeah.
So I had to think twice. And they're supposedly putting on another show. So they're not folding up the curtains completely. So I think they're going to do 1 or 2 shows a year, probably a mega show, and then a Fat Frank Part 2, Part 3, which is fine, which is great because they put on a great show. The show itself was great. They do very well, from the white shows to the flat screens. They do a really good job. I've never been to a PWS show. I heard that the things that they do for the show are really cool. I never seen any of their talent wrestle, so I can't comment on that. I can only comment on my exchanges with certain people there.
PWS really doesn't, I want to say, doesn't like me.
You don't like a lot of people.
Well, let me rephrase that. I did speak to Pat the other day, and we seem to be on the same page, but just some certain others in that company where, they don't believe everything that was the truth. We had a seminar booked with PWS for Kidman and Malenko, and they Tommy Dreamer was inducting Dean Malenko into the Hall of Fame for ECW.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of went straight by me, and unfortunately got pulled from the PWS thing. So
right.
They didn't believe that Dreamer had everything to do with it. They thought I was getting money out of it, which wasn't the case. I'd rather see my talent make money instead, but yeah, it does happen. But I spoke to Pat. We're on better terms now, so PWS might be in the future for us.
Like I said, I have no problem going to a PWS show. The problem is that, like I said, half of us are going to UWA Elite, which is in South River. They're going to be in Rahway. And Warriors of Wrestling's in Staten Island, so it's not out of the way either direction you go.
Right.
It's just a time slot. I think their pre-show is 6:30 to 8:30, and Warriors of Wrestling starts their show at 7:30, and UWA